So this song is called Reveal by Cornerstone Roots. Um, when I went to New Zealand, I met a very talented musician named Nicky Stevenson. He was blind, and what he lost in his sight, he gained in his musical talent, I'll tell you that much. Well, he was the one that taught me reggae music and a little Latin music, and I met him on Waiheke Island. He was playing in a jam there with his dad, who was also blind, and some other people. And he was there for years, just stuck on that island. I say stuck, it was the most beautiful island. So, but however, he hadn't really even been to too many places in New Zealand itself. So I offered him to go on a road trip with me and let's go tour New Zealand for 3 weeks. So we went off, and he had like connections, so we went and played for some of his buddies and stuff like that. And then we just showed up in Raglan, and we were jamming. We played a gig, got a gig at the pub, and one of the musicians from Cornerstone Roots showed up and asked to come to a jam after we went to a late night jam and jam some reggae music, and they just loved Nicky, and like he's amazing at every instrument. And they hired him for the band Cornerstone Roots, and he toured to India and Japan and Australia and a few other places with that band after being stuck on that island. And so he gave me this amazing gift, and gave me the ability to go and tour with him, which allowed me to polish my music, and I unconsciously led him to a beautiful new life. So anyways, we'll go over the psychology of the song after. I choose not to take it on my way home, and I heard the talk around town. My way home, and I choose not to take it on. When one describes another, you only reveal yourself. As you describe another, you only reveal yourself. As you describe another, you only reveal yourself. Hey, as you describe another, you only reveal yourself. In some ways I've grown, but still there's much to learn. In some ways I've grown, but still there's much to learn. You do what you sow, the truth shall unfold. As you do what you sow, the truth shall unfold. When one describes another, you only reveal yourself. Yeah. As you describe another, you only reveal yourself. As you describe another, you only reveal yourself. I describe another, you only reveal yourself. In some ways I've grown, but still there's much to learn. Some ways I've grown, but still there's much to learn. As you do what you sow, the truth shall unfold. As you do what you sow, the truth shall unfold. When one describes another, you only reveal yourself. Oh, as you describe another, you only reveal yourself. Oh, as you describe So yeah, if you want to like think about the meaning a little longer, just pause the video. So Raglan's a really small town, so the guy that wrote that song obviously knows a lot about the same kind of things as I do. I live in a town of 300 and near a town of probably tops out at about 8 or 10,000. Oh, I mean, in the summer, all the visitors, it's different. But when you're here a long time, everybody knows everybody, and a lot of people just, instead of dealing with their own stuff in their lives, like the relationships with their family, you know, the relationship with their boss, their resentment at their lives, they decide to point at how pathological other people's lives are, right? And I think that we can only start to clean up, help clean up our neighbor's backyard when ours is already at least clean enough that no chaos will ensue, right? You know, if so, we have to remember that most people that are talking shit about people are really just either they're either jealous about how that person's living and they know they can't live that way because of certain circumstances they've chosen in their lives, so they decide to make fun of that or pathologize that, you know, or that they do the exact same thing but they don't want to admit it, so they'd rather just reflect their shadow upon that person. So, you know, when you describe another, you're only revealing yourself, right? So if you are going to point out a pathology, recognize where you do that pathology also, because likely you do. We're none of us are clean. None of our hands are clean. So even if you don't do that one thing, then you're doing something else. And who's to say which one's is more moral, right? So, and you know, the only way to build a better understanding is to make all the judgments upon yourself first, right? So on this channel, I've been making, let's say, judgments. I'm no judge that's gonna have. I'm not an executioner. I'm not the person that tells them what they get for their crimes, and I'm not even a real judge. However, I can make judgments of my community, right? And people are like, "Oh, that's gossip and stuff." Like, no, no, no. I'm doing it publicly. I'm asking anybody. I've actually asked them to come and talk to me on a podcast, and if anything I'm saying is not true, then we can clean that up. Or if something I'm saying is only half true, which I'm expecting most of what I'm saying is only half true, then we can clear that up, right? Gossip is this like little background weaselly stuff that people do to destroy people's reputation, and you know, it's just innuendo and all that. It's just that it's what we call the dark feminine, right? And we have it in all of us. It's nothing to do with me. I'm not saying this of women. I'm talking of this kind of Weasley thing, right? A dark masculine does it right in your face, and he doesn't give a one shit. He's not scared, right? And that's is just as evil as doing it behind somebody's back, right? So, am I the dark masculine for making judgments on my channel? Well, it's down to certain situational things. Maybe I am making statements that are out of my competence, and if so, and I expect that I am, then people come and join me and talk with me. Let's point out my inaccuracies. You know, that's I'm happy for that. So this is the difference between the gossip and making judgments, right? If we're doing this gossip thing, that's like background weasel stuff that we don't need to be doing. We want a transparent communities, right? And also in humility to know that you're always fucking up is how we grow better. That's part of being an alchemist, right? And the only true alchemist or eternal alchemist, you mean? And that's what he's getting at in the second verse, which goes, in some ways I've grown, but still there's much to learn, right? The humility. It's like, some ways I've grown, but still there's much to learn. It's pretty simple. As we do what we sow, so when you reap, the truth will unfold, right? What you put in the ground, it'll grow, and you'll see what it is, whatever you put down there. If you put a poop tree in there and you got a bunch of poop growing, then that's your fault, right? That's your karma, right? If you put a beautiful CBD cannabis tree that came up and cured your cancer, and you trusted in it and you took it properly and did that, then that's your karma also, right? And it also based on many other things. I think karma is multi-dimensional, or maybe multi-dimensional, but also multi-generational. So sometimes the karma that we deserve for being good doesn't come in this lifetime, you know. But that's something of a higher faith to think like that, and that's why most people turn to greed and evil in this, because they believe this is the only life, and they see it all happening around them, and only the greedy and evil people are winning, so they follow, right? Well, this is where that is coming to an end. Well, it's never going to come to an end. There'll always be evil that fills the vacuum. However, now we're going to have the eyes that see this for it was, and for what it is, and we're going to stop voting for it to lead our world. So when you describe another, remember, you're only revealing yourself. Much love. If you feel like supporting this channel, you mean email at melatonic, melatonic, at protonmail.com. Thank you very much. Have a lovely day.